When it comes to fixing your posture, there is one problem that a lot of people struggle with, and that is, where do you actually start? Do I work on my shoulders first because they're making me look like I'm Quasimodo? Do I work on my pelvic tilt so my upper body is aligned with my lower body? Or is it better to work on my back because it's getting so round? Flat earthers are starting to doubt my existence. And if you consult the internet, you will be bombarded with all kinds of "this is good for your posture, this is bad for your posture." Posture isn't even real. You aren't real. And it can be not only very annoying, but also very frustrating, because most people do have some problems that they struggle with, be it shoulder problems, back problems, hip problems, knee problems. Whatever you have, chances are there is at least one exercise out there that is way easier for you to handle, that is going to help you get rid of said problem. So what we're going to do today is address the most common problem zones in people and how you can use the most effective exercise to get rid of those. We're going to put all of them together into one single routine. You can use the whole thing. You can take out some of these exercises and use them for your specific problem zones, and mix and match with whatever exercises you're already doing. So if you're ready, let's start aligning your body the way it should be. Starting with what is probably the most effective exercise in not only decompressing and helping us release tension in our shoulders, but also pretty much doing the same thing for every single joint in our entire body, including our spine, and that is the passive or the dead hang. Basically just grabbing onto a bar and relaxing as much as you can into that position, letting go of any tension you're holding. And the amazing thing with the passive hang is it already starts at the very top on your wrists. We're decompressing our wrist joint. We're working the same way with our elbow, and very importantly, we are decompressing our rotator cuff, which is already one of the best ways to get rid of shoulder pain, especially when it has to do with something like impingement, for instance. And the passive hang will take you through decompression of every single vertebrae, going through your back, releasing tension in your lower back, and it'll help you align your entire body simply by using gravity. Start by hanging for 5 to 10 seconds and get to half a minute to a full minute, 3 to 4 rounds. If you do this every single day, not only will you get rid of a lot of shoulder tightness and shoulder pain, but you're also going to help with the rest of your body being aligned the way it should be. Not the cookie cutter way of tuck your chin in, push your chest out on this whole bullshit. Moving us to our next easy to replicate exercise, combining our shoulder posture with our chest as well as our upper or thoracic back. And what we're going to do for this is get into a quadrupedal position, and you maybe have already seen what is called a scapular push-up. So now we're doing it with assistance of our knees. Our arms are fully extended. All we need to do from here is going to scapular adduction, pulling our shoulder blades together, and then moving into abduction, lengthening our shoulders as much as we can. This is going to teach us how to mobilize our shoulder blades, and it's also going to help us activate these muscles in conjunction with each other. How does your rear delt work with your pecs? How do your traps work with your chest musculature? Over time, this is going to help us align our body. If you are a little bit more advanced, what you can do is raise your knees, get into a push-up position, and now we can do scapular push-ups, adding even more strength and even more control to this exercise. I've already talked about this a lot, being able to go through adduction and adduction, elevation and depression in your scapula is a skill that everyone should be able to do, not only if you're doing calisthenics, but in general. Now, while we're still combining shoulders, upper back, and chest musculature, we're gonna do the same thing on a bar through scapular pull-ups. We're gonna start in a dead hang position, and now we're combining a dead hang with scapular pull-ups and active hangs. Active hangs is pretty much the opposite of relaxing into a hang. We want to stay tight and flexed. This is going to help us not only work on our strength endurance, and is an amazing isometric exercise, but you can combine it with the dead hang, the scapular pull-up, the active hang, and release. So now we're going through adduction and depression, as well as abduction and elevation, combining it with even more strength. And through the hanging position, we're also not only decompressing our lower back and our vertebrae, just like before, but now we are going through holistic full body movements. They're going to help us build the required tension to be able to stay fully upright. Having taken care of our shoulders for now, we're going to get into a quadrupedal position once more, because now we're going to work on our entire spine. And the easiest and best and most effective exercise when it comes to spinal mobilization, as well as learning how to control your spinal and back musculature, is the cat-cow, going into complete spinal extension and switching into spinal flexion, tilting our pelvis, pushing our arms into the ground and lengthening our shoulders as much as we can. We're once again adding adduction and abduction, as well as now spinal extension and spinal flexion. Now, for a lot of people, this movement is going to be really short in the beginning, just like so, but over time you're going to be able to activate those muscles a lot more, stretching out every single back muscle in the flexion phase and learning how to flex every single muscle in the extension phase. So now we have complete control over our back musculature as well. Now this moves us down to our hips and our hip mobility. And I have talked about this topic so many times, and if you've been here before, then you definitely know which exercise we're gonna choose to work on our hip mobility, and that is gonna be the deep squat or resting squat. Now, for pretty much half the world population, getting into a deep squat is not an exercise, it is just a natural resting position. But being able to get into this natural resting position already takes care of a lot of problems that people struggle with. To be able to squat this deeply and relax into this position, you need to have not only full flexibility in your posterior chain as well as your anterior chain, but you also need to be loose enough in all of these joints to be able to sit in this position. Now, I could talk about the deep squat or the resting squat for a whole day. So if you want to learn how to do it, check out this video going through it step by step. But just know that if you are able to sit down comfortably into a deep squat position, you are basically way more advanced when it comes to not only your mobility, but also what you actually need to align in your body itself than most people. Which moves us to the next chapter when it comes to posture alignment. That is something that a lot of people miss out on. And if you do not do this, there is no chance in hell that you will advance your posture in a way that is gonna be long-term healthy for you. Because, and I'm very sorry to say that, mobility is not enough to take care of this. We have to have a full strength aspect to our training program. And this is where the two exercises come in that will take care of pretty much 90% of all of your problems when it comes to posture. And number one of those will be the deadlift, specifically the sumo deadlift. Because the sumo deadlift is an absurdly effective way in learning how to not only align your body, but building the strength in every single muscle required, not only to stand fully upright, but also to work with your lower body in conjunction with your upper body. And this is specifically important for the men here because most men have really weak glutes compared to the rest of their musculature. And having weak glutes already leads to a myriad of problems, specifically in conjunction with our hips, knees, and ankles. Because any misalignment in our hips will destroy any sort of alignment we have in the rest of our body. So deadlifting in the sumo fashion, learning how to tilt our pelvis, flex our glutes and work them together with our back musculature and our leg musculature is gonna help you get rid of all kinds of posture related problems, strengthening your entire posterior chain in the extension, your anterior chain in the negative movement, and combining all of these together in a way more holistic way than any isolation exercises will ever be able to accomplish. And the second one of these strength exercises is the weighted squat. Now, the weighted squat is amazing at building lower body strength, and if done correctly, building massive strength in your legs, glutes, calves, as well as control and balance for your lower body, which are two very important aspects of aligning your body. We are learning how to tilt our pelvis correctly. We're learning how to balance out our body when we have weight on any side, be it uniform weight or not. We are learning how to control our abdominal and core musculature in conjunction with our spinal erectors and back musculature to keep our upper body fully upright. And the squat is way more than just a leg or a glute exercise, but pretty much one of the most effective exercises you can do if you want to align your body and if you want to work on your posture correctly. Now you might think, hey, those are just a handful of exercises, this is never going to be enough. But trust me on this one, if you take all of the exercises we did today, made them into one single routine, if you do this 2 times a week, you will notice not only the amazing benefits of staying more upright, getting rid of rounded shoulders, not because you have to be fully straight, but because that is how your body aligns. If everything is working perfectly, you're gonna get rid of pain and tightness related issues. And after that, if you wanna advance and if you wanna add to your workouts and to your exercises, then by all means add other stuff. But when it comes to your main workout, you want to align your body, you want to get rid of problems, you want to prehab so you do not get injured later on or the older you get. These are exactly the exercises you have to be doing. A combination of strength and mobility, a combination of control and endurance, and putting all of this together into something that you can recreate by yourself. But with that said, sadly, once again, that's all the time I've left for you today. If you like the video and subscribe, and check out other videos on this channel because we literally have new ones every single day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Captain Cairo, peace out.